5 fruits that are often recommended for daily health might actually be secretly weakening your legs. Day by day, morning by morning, you're probably eating them, and you have no idea. Sounds crazy, right? But millions of Americans over 60 are going through this exact situation. And the cause? It's something that's always been labeled as healthy. You've always believed that eating fruit every day is part of staying healthy. But what if some of that fruit is slowly damaging your joints and mobility? Stick around to find out why, and which fruits you may need to avoid starting today. In today's video, we're going to uncover 5 common fruits that might be silently making your legs feel weaker, stiffer, and more painful as you age. You will learn why these once healthy fruits no longer work well with an aging body, the biological reasons behind their subtle impact on your joints and mobility. Real stories from older Americans who started feeling better after changing their diet. And most importantly, you'll discover healthier alternatives, so you can still enjoy the sweetness of fruit without sacrificing your strength or well-being. Number 1. Pineapple. Sweet and refreshing on the outside, but it might be silently wearing down your knees, day after day. Do you enjoy pineapple? Many people see it as a beautiful gift from nature, juicy, fragrant, lightly sweet, and packed with bromelain, a natural anti-inflammatory enzyme. But after age 60, your body may not be handling pineapple the way it used to. It could be damaging your joints and you do not even realize it. When we are younger, pineapple can aid digestion and even reduce mild inflammation. But as we age, things change. The tiny blood vessels in your legs and knees become thinner and more fragile. They are more vulnerable to high levels of sugar and acid. Your body also processes sugar more slowly, which can cause blood sugar spikes and chronic inflammation. And your joints become more sensitive to acids found in sour fruits like pineapple. Dorothy, 68, from Florida, used to drink a fresh pineapple smoothie every morning, thinking it would help her joints. But then she started feeling stiffness in her knees every time she got out of bed. When her nutritionist asked about her diet, Dorothy stopped eating pineapple for just 2 weeks. The result? She slept better. Her morning knee pain disappeared, and she could walk longer without feeling tired or heavy. Here's the thing. Pineapple has a high glycemic index. That means it can spike your blood sugar quickly, which is especially risky for people over 60. When your blood sugar rises too fast, the tiny vessels in your knees and legs take the hit. Inflammation creeps in quietly, causing discomfort and heaviness. Your joints take longer to recover, and pain lingers longer than it should. Do you notice any of these symptoms after eating pineapple? Achy knees in the morning, even if you haven't exercised. Calf or ankle fatigue after a short walk. A heavy feeling in your legs after standing for a while. Stiffness when squatting or climbing stairs. If any of that sounds familiar, try cutting out pineapple for 2 to 3 weeks. Many people notice a big difference after just a few days. Still think bromelain is doing you good? Unfortunately, the natural amount of bromelain in fresh pineapple is far too low to make a meaningful difference. Meanwhile, you're consuming high levels of organic acid, which irritate joint tissue. Natural fructose, which promotes inflammation and metabolic imbalance. And if you're on blood thinners, pineapple may interact poorly with your medication. So, what should you do if you love pineapple? Eat it strategically. Never eat pineapple on an empty stomach. Only enjoy it during main meals, and limit it to once a week. Pair it with healthy fats, like a few slices of avocado. Avoid combining it with other acidic foods like oranges, lemons, or fermented yogurt. Looking for better alternatives? Try papaya, gentle, easy to digest, and rich in enzymes that support gut health. Try berries, low in sugar, high in anti-inflammatory compounds. Try cherries, help reduce uric acid and support joint comfort. Not all fruits are safe for everyone, especially after 60. Pineapple may be nutritious, but if eaten too frequently or without care, it can backfire on your body. You don't have to give it up forever. Just learn to eat it in a way that matches your age and your body's needs. Because strong, steady legs don't come from expensive supplements. They come from the small choices you make at every meal. Number 2. Grapes. Small, sweet, and seemingly harmless. But they could be silently damaging your joints in ways you'd never expect. In the United States, grapes are everywhere. From elegant dinner parties to healthy snack trays and breakfast bowls with yogurt. They are considered a clean, antioxidant-rich fruit that's easy to eat and good for you. But for people over 60, grapes carry a hidden danger. Fructose and uric acid. Fructose is a natural sugar that's processed only by the liver. When you eat grapes, the liver breaks down that fructose. But part of it turns into uric acid. If you eat too many grapes, especially in the evening, your liver may not be able to keep up. The excess fructose leads to a buildup of uric acid. And when your kidneys can't eliminate it fast enough, that uric acid starts to crystallize inside your joints, especially in your big toe, ankles, and heels. Those crystals are sharp, like tiny needles. They pierce your joint tissue, causing sudden stabbing pain, often at night or early morning, mild swelling, redness, and a burning sensation. Joint stiffness that makes moving difficult during the first hours of the day. For older adults, these symptoms may not feel as intense as full-blown gout, but they linger, affecting your comfort and daily mobility. Take George, 72, from California. He loved snacking on grapes while watching TV. Every evening, he'd munch on them without a second thought. A few months in, he started waking up with sharp pain in his big toe. Some mornings, his ankle was slightly swollen. He thought maybe he'd slept in a weird position. But after a blood test, his doctor told him his uric acid levels were high. When George mentioned he was eating grapes every night, the doctor said, "That's your culprit right there." George stopped eating grapes for 3 weeks. He switched to strawberries and cantaloupe, and the burning pain disappeared. He moved more easily and slept better at night. So why are grapes particularly risky for people over 60? First, aging liver and kidneys. They don't process fructose or flush out uric acid as efficiently as before. Second, poor circulation in the legs. This makes it easier for uric acid to settle in small joints and cause inflammation. Third, a false sense of safety. Unlike candy, grapes don't taste overly sweet. But 100 grams of grapes contain over 8 grams of fructose. Just 2 cups of grapes can give you nearly 25 grams of sugar. More than a daily limit for anyone at risk of inflammation or joint pain. Signs your body might be reacting to too many grapes. A burning or prickly sensation in your big toe when you wake up. Stiff ankles in the morning. Tingling or pins and needles around the toe joints. Mild swelling or redness in your ankles. Trouble sleeping due to foot discomfort at night. If you've experienced 2 or more of these signs, especially after regularly eating grapes for 1 to 2 weeks, it may be time to reevaluate your diet. So, how can you enjoy grapes safely if you're over 60? Stick to small portions, no more than half a cup per serving, 2 to 3 times a week. Avoid grapes in the evening, especially after 7 p.m. Pair grapes with healthy fats or protein, like almonds or cheese, to slow sugar absorption. Avoid grapes if you're on gout meds, arthritis treatment, or diuretics. Stay hydrated to help your kidneys flush out uric acid. Need better alternatives? Try these. Blueberries, powerful anti-inflammatory, great for circulation. Strawberries, low in sugar, great for joints and skin. Cherries, can help lower uric acid when eaten in moderation. Kiwi, packed with vitamin C and supports immunity. Cantaloupe, easy to digest and doesn't spike blood sugar. Grapes may be one of the most beloved fruits out there. But if eaten too often, especially at night, they can slowly lead to uric acid buildup in the body, causing swelling, inflammation, and joint pain in your legs and feet. That burning or tingling in your toes after a grape-heavy snack. It's not random. It's your body trying to tell you something. You eat grapes thinking you're doing something good for your health. But sometimes, you might be unknowingly hurting the very joints that carry you through life. Number 3. Watermelon. The sweet, refreshing taste of summer might be silently spiking your blood sugar. Especially if you're over 60. With over 90% water, watermelon feels like the safest fruit out there. It's not fatty like ice cream, not overly sweet like mangoes, and mostly just water. But here's the truth. Watermelon is one of the highest glycemic fruits you can eat. Its glycemic index ranges from 72 to 80, which means it sends your blood sugar soaring right after you eat it. Your body has to release insulin quickly to manage that spike. For younger folks, that's not a big deal. But for people over 60, these rapid swings in blood sugar can be dangerous. As we age, our pancreas doesn't work as efficiently. Insulin production becomes irregular. The result? Fatigue, dizziness, and that sluggish, drained feeling after eating. And when blood sugar spikes this fast, it damages the tiny blood vessels in your legs, leading to inflammation, swollen ankles, muscle fatigue, and joint pain. Ever had a few slices of watermelon and suddenly felt unusual leg fatigue, like you had to sit down? Slight ankle swelling even if you hadn't walked much? A pulling sensation in your calves after standing for a while? That's not just a coincidence. Those are signs of blood sugar spikes. And watermelon could be the trigger. When glucose rises too fast, it puts pressure on the delicate vessels in your knees, ankles, and feet. It's especially risky if you already have poor circulation or diabetes. In some cases, it can even lead to chronic swelling, vein inflammation, or foot ulcers. Eleanor, 69, from Dallas, Texas, shared her story. I thought I was eating healthy. No soda, no candy, just 3 or 4 big slices of watermelon a day. But by late afternoon, my legs felt like they were dragging weights. Not quite pain, but a deep, achy feeling from knees to feet. My ankles swelled up slightly, especially on days I ate more watermelon. My daughter works in senior care. When I mentioned my watermelon habit, she told me to cut it out for a bit. I swapped it for green apples and mulberries. Within 10 days, the leg fatigue disappeared. I started sleeping better and stopped waking up with numb feet. Now don't get me wrong. Watermelon isn't bad. But it's incredibly easy to overeat. It's sweet, but not overly filling. It feels light and hydrating. But it delivers a hefty dose of sugar. Just 1 cup of watermelon packs 12 grams of sugar. About 3 teaspoons. Eat 2 or 3 cups a day. And it's almost like drinking a can of soda. Watch out for these signs, you might be overdoing it. Feeling tired or foggy after a meal. Needing to pause for a moment before standing up. Mild ankle swelling by evening. Tight calves even after short walks. Nighttime leg cramps from fluctuating blood sugar. So how can you enjoy watermelon safely after 60? Eat it earlier in the day, ideally before 3 p.m. Never eat it on an empty stomach, to avoid a sugar rush. Stick to small portions around 1 to 1.5 cups per serving. Pair it with fiber or healthy fats, like cashews or Greek yogurt, to slow down sugar absorption. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or poor circulation, check with your doctor before making it a daily habit. Need a safer alternative? Try these instead. Cantaloupe still refreshing, but with a lower glycemic index than watermelon. Strawberries and blueberries low in sugar, high in anti-inflammatory compounds. Papaya easy to digest, gently sweet, and good for your gut. Green apples fiber-rich, low glycemic index, and surprisingly filling. Watermelon may seem harmless, but for anyone over 60, eating it often, especially in the evening, can trigger serious blood sugar swings and harm the tiny blood vessels in your legs and joints. Something that feels like water might actually be sugar. And that harmless feeling of tired legs? It could be your body's quiet way of warning you. Number 4. Oranges. When vitamin C becomes a double-edged sword for people over 60. For most of us, oranges have always been the picture of health. A glass of fresh orange juice in the morning, refreshing, packed with vitamin C, and great for immunity. It's a daily ritual for millions of Americans. But after 60, your body changes. And that healthy habit might not be as friendly as it seems. Especially if you're dealing with joint pain, inflammation, or poor circulation. Drinking orange juice every day could actually be making things worse. Oranges are rich in citric acid. the very thing that gives them their signature tang. They also contain natural sugars like fructose and glucose. Together, they can spike your blood sugar, disrupt insulin levels, and lead to fatigue and reduced circulation. Worse, that combo of acid and sugar can fuel chronic inflammation, particularly in your knees, hips, and ankles. They also irritate joint tissues, causing stiffness especially in the morning. Why are older adults more sensitive to oranges than younger folks? First, slower circulation. As we age, blood flow to the hands and feet declines, making joint tissues slower to heal and more vulnerable to acidic irritation. Second, reduced blood sugar control. Insulin doesn't work as efficiently, so sugar levels rise quickly and crash just as fast, leaving you tired and foggy. Third, weaker cartilage and connective tissues. Even mild daily exposure to acidic foods can trigger long-term inflammation. Take Harold, 71, from Denver, Colorado. I drank orange juice every morning for decades. It was my way of staying healthy. But recently, I noticed my knees felt stiff in the mornings. After sitting a while, getting up would make my hips ache. My daughter's a physical therapist. She asked me to stop the orange juice for a month. I switched to warm water with ginger and a few strawberries. Within 2 weeks, my knees were more flexible. After a month, the hip pain was gone. I was honestly shocked. Do any of these signs sound familiar after drinking orange juice? Stiff knees when you wake up. Mild hip or knee pain after sitting for a while. Tingling or burning in your legs after breakfast. Low energy or fatigue 30 to 60 minutes after drinking juice. Heavy legs or slight ankle swelling without much activity. If you experience 2 or more of these and drink orange juice every day, your body might be reacting to the sugar and acid combo in oranges. But isn't it natural sugar? Yes, but here's the catch. When you juice an orange, you remove all the fiber. That means the sugar hits your bloodstream fast. 1 8-ounce glass of orange juice can contain up to 20 grams of sugar. That's 5 teaspoons. Its glycemic index is around 50 to 60, which is moderate to high. For people over 60, this can lead to energy crashes and heavy legs after meals, systemic inflammation, damage to the tiny blood vessels in your joints and lower limbs. Over time, this can make joint issues, diabetes, or high blood pressure even worse. So how can you enjoy oranges the right way after 60? Eat whole oranges, not juice. The fiber helps slow down sugar absorption. Don't eat oranges on an empty stomach. Have them 1 to 2 hours after a main meal. Stick to 1 orange per day. And don't eat multiple in one sitting, especially at night. Avoid store-bought or sweetened orange juices. They are loaded with sugar and have no fiber. If you've got joint issues, gout, or unstable blood sugar, cut back on orange consumption and monitor your body over 2 to 3 weeks. Want healthier alternatives to oranges? Try strawberries, rich in vitamin C, low in sugar, and anti-inflammatory. Blueberries, packed with antioxidants, great for memory and circulation. Papaya, gentle on digestion, contains papain for joint support. Kiwi, high in vitamin C, but less likely to spike your blood sugar. Blood oranges, higher in anthocyanins. In small amounts, they are less likely to affect blood sugar. Oranges are nutritious, but they are not always ideal for people over 60. Especially if you're dealing with joint problems, blood sugar concerns, or circulation issues. That citric acid combined with natural sugars can quietly worsen inflammation, stiffen your joints, and slowly chip away at your quality of life. A glass of orange juice may seem harmless, but it could be making your legs feel heavier, one morning at a time. Number 5. Mangoes. One of summer's most beloved fruits, rich, fragrant, and velvety smooth. But for older adults, mangoes may quietly be working against your joints, especially in the knees, ankles, and the small joints of your feet. The problem isn't toxins or preservatives. It's the high amount of natural sugar found in every ripe, juicy bite. Every 100 grams of mango contains about 14 to 16 grams of sugar, mostly fructose and glucose. That's significantly more than cantaloupe, apples, or even oranges. When you're younger, your body processes that sugar easily, thanks to responsive insulin and a faster metabolism. But after 60, things slow down. And that sugar can trigger a chain reaction you might not feel until later. When you eat a large mango, your blood sugar spikes. Your body releases insulin to manage it. But for seniors, insulin response is slower and less efficient, meaning your blood sugar stays elevated longer than it should. That prolonged insulin surge triggers inflammation throughout the body, which can damage your joints, cartilage, and the tiny blood vessels that support them. The result? Pain, swelling, numbness, and lingering fatigue in the legs and feet. James, 70, from Austin, Texas, shared his story. I made mango smoothies every night, just fresh mango, almond milk, and ice. No added sugar. I thought it was a healthy treat. But over time, I started to feel a sharp twinge in my knee when going up the stairs. Then it became morning stiffness. Sometimes I'd feel a strange numbness in my ankle as I stepped out of bed. A nutritionist at our senior center told me to cut out mango for 10 days and switch to blueberries with plain Greek yogurt. Just a few days later I felt the difference. No more tingling in the morning. My joints felt looser, and walking was easier again. This is the reaction mangoes can quietly trigger. Too much sugar leads to an insulin spike. High insulin triggers inflammatory compounds like TNF-alpha and IL-6. Inflammation damages joint tissue. Inflammation swells the synovial lining around the joints, causing pain and stiffness in your knees, ankles, and heels. Signs: mangoes may be affecting your joints. Mild ankle numbness when you wake up. Swollen knees after a day of activity. Dull aches in your hips or knees after a mango-heavy meal. Nighttime leg cramps. Fatigued calves even without much movement. These symptoms are easy to dismiss as just aging. But if mango is a daily part of your diet, the inflammation may be slowly adding up. Mangoes may be naturally sweet, but that doesn't make them harmless. They are easy to overeat because they are delicious and don't fill you up fast. A single large mango can pack 30 grams of sugar. That's 7 to 8 teaspoons. For someone with prediabetes, insulin resistance, or arthritis, That's more than enough to trigger discomfort. So how can you enjoy mangoes without hurting your joints or blood sugar? Stick to small portions, no more than half a mango at a time, and no more than twice a week. Avoid mango at night, when circulation slows and insulin function declines. Pair it with healthy fats or fiber, like unsweetened Greek yogurt, chia seeds, or avocado. Don't combine it with other sugary foods like honey, bananas, grapes, or sweetened cereal. Pay attention to how your body feels after eating it. If you notice joint stiffness, leg fatigue, or restless sleep, try cutting mango for 5 to 7 days and reassess. Healthier fruit swaps for folks over 60. Blueberries, anti-inflammatory, low sugar. Strawberries, rich in vitamin C, low in fructose. Papaya, easy to digest, contains papain for joint health. Pears, high in fiber, gently sweet, stable for blood sugar. Blood oranges, tart but rich in anthocyanins. Enjoy in small amounts. Mangoes are natural, vitamin-rich, and absolutely delicious. But for older adults, their high sugar content can quietly stir up inflammation, causing knee pain, ankle swelling, numbness, and even nighttime cramps. Not everything sweet is your friend. Sometimes, the dessert you love most might be the one slowly weakening your joints. Have you ever felt sore legs, stiff knees, or cramps after eating a certain fruit? Drop a comment below. Let's help each other stay informed and feel our best. After living more than 60 years, your body doesn't need more food. It needs the right food. The fruits that once worked for you in your 30s or 40s might not be the best fit anymore. Your legs are a symbol of your independence. Every strong step you take helps you live this stage of life to the fullest. It's not about cutting fruit out of your diet. It's about choosing wisely, listening to your body, and picking what works best for you, right now. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, and share it with someone you care about who's over 60. Comment below. What fruits do you eat every day? And how do you feel after watching this? Stay healthy after 60. Because living well isn't just about living long. It's about living fully, with every step you take.